Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Taylor Jones, and I have one question to ask you. Do you have any, and I mean any, idea what time it is? If not, let me welcome you to Season 5 of Cold Man's Winter. I'm sorry for all the things that I've done. Just know that I am the foolish one. And now I see who's to blame. I'm so ashamed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the things that I've said. Just like a child, I bumped my head. I should have known from the start. I broke your heart. I'm sorry. Please be kind, and I know you find it so easy to forgive. Darling, wait, it's not too late. Give our love a chance to live. I know the heartaches that I put you through. Just know that I have heartaches too. There's nothing more I could do but say to you, I'm sorry. Again, I say, please be kind, and I know you find it so easy to forgive. Darling, wait, because it is not too late. Give our love a chance to live. Oh, live. I know the heartaches that I put you through. Just know that I have heartaches too. There's nothing more I would do but say to you, I'm sorry. Darling, I am truly sorry. The Platters, 1957, I believe. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube channel, TC Jones Edits. But welcome to another episode of Cold Man's Winter Season 5. And for this episode, based on the song that I recited, the episode 13, I bring you apologies. When you're thinking about apologies, you're thinking about forgiveness, asking for forgiveness, and saying a 5-letter word. SORRY. But let me tell you, a lot of people they take the apology in different ways. Some will forgive you for now, as a way of saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, the blame is on you. Fool me 3 times, forget the peace sign. You know what I'm saying? Others be like, heck no, I ain't falling for that, or sorry my butt. I've been in that situation before. Sorry my butt routine. Because everybody knows that you playing yourself. You ain't sorry. You just disobedient. You're ignorant. We black folks say ignorant. White folks say ignorant. But it's not a black and white thing. I mean, apologies, they have been misused, misheard, misled, and it's all over some small yet stupid things. And based on that old song by Trey Songz that he made about smartphones, dumb crap, I had a moment to think about those words, and I came up with my own version of Trey Songz slogan. But instead, it's small probs to big deal. Why must everybody got to make everything a big deal? Why does everybody have to be so mad and start an argument? I'm one of those guys. I'm a Cancer, and Cancers have been looked upon like most emotional, tripping over small things. You can't even handle it. Even when people start to cuss at you, it's like, man, what have I done? Where do I go from here? And even that Dr. Phil talking to that father who traumatized his son for yelling at him, do you see how this works? Do you see how this works? Yeah, that type of feeling. It's like you can't win. A lot of people weak. They can't win because they let fear get the best of them. And even when they apologize, it ain't gonna do you any good. But let's dig deeper than that. Like when you apologize, how is it done? How is it made? How can you be serious? Like I said, apologies have been misused, misled, and misheard because you're doing one thing, but you mean another. That's not how it works. Even when you said that you can fix some things, there's nothing to be fixed. For example, John Doe wrote a Christmas card to a fellow female, whether at work, and he decided to take his time, come up with things that stuck on his mind, even bring up memories. But a few days later, after getting the card, behind closed doors, the female felt some certain way and wanted to tell John Doe exactly what went down. So while coming into work, John Doe and the woman talked. He asked, "How are you?" And to tell you the truth, she got offended. She felt offended. And then all of a sudden, she wanted to raise her voice. She was so hurt. And like, okay, I can fix that. I will fix this. But there's nothing you can fix. You lucky. I could have sued you. My option is to show the card to the boss and the other co-workers, the managers. Because, like you said, it was kind of like, you know how people have the right to speak out and you take their anger so seriously. It's like, for right now, you can't even say sorry. And she's demanding this person to get it together. And he's like, I will. John Doe said, I will. And the reason why, because the woman explained to John that she was a married woman. And let's just say that his other co-workers around his age, like, yo, what's up, man? Right? Heck no, I ain't alright. John Doe started to trip him. But he ain't gonna call the female's name. He run his mouth and the co-worker like, whoa, wait a minute. You said what? You did what? And then all of a sudden, the co-worker decided to ask John Doe a real good question. Well, what did you say some crap about the family member? Did you talk smack about that? So after that question was asked, John Doe had a hint. He started to slow down while working, and oh my gosh. And he starts to remember everything that he wrote down on the card to tick off an older co-worker that's a female. Now, he realized quick, because nowadays, you gotta know the true meaning of giving people some distance. And that's one example of why sorry is not prepared. You're not 100% sorry yet. You're just doing the dang thing, claiming that you're doing the good deed, but it's not. Says who? Says the people who want to complain to you, who wants to teach you a lesson for pushing their buttons. Back in the days, children get get told about this to their parents by some other individual older, what do you think was going to happen? A butt whipping was one of them. Teenagers, you get grounded. No TV, no video games, no phone. Those privileges until you learn the true meaning of backing the heck up, like Onyx. Now I already talked about that scenario when it came to stalking, and the episode before that I talked about sexual harassment. Do you think perverts care? Do you think sex offenders care? No. But both types of people that I called out, they are looked upon. Everybody's being watched on a daily basis, especially when you're doing something behind closed doors and inappropriate or controversial, as I always put it. Because if you want to apologize to somebody, you need to apologize to the Lord. Like, Heavenly Father, I have sinned. Please forgive me for my sins. Because John Doe, ever since John Doe's co-worker was like asking, well, did you talk smack about her? Talk smack about her family? It's kind of like, when I brought that up, you know, sexual harassment is far from over. A lot of men, they get away with it, but they end up getting caught and get in trouble to the fact that they got to be in some sort of mood. And a lot of people, they end up getting scared to tell the truth to everybody. Because once you get exposed, you won't have to accept the la 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 la. You gotta accept that. Or look, man, you have got to let them folks go. You gotta learn how to leave them alone. Now you're making yourself look bad. Just back off. And if they tell you like that, they're keeping it real. And once again, like Onyx once said, well, based on the album title, back the heck up. Move back, double crossers. The Onyx is here. Back the heck up. You better back the heck up. And forget that sorry stuff, because I ain't with it. You ain't true with it. Some of y'all asking, what the heck does all that example got to do with being apologies? Like I said, it's misused, misled. Now look, I lost a couple friends, social media and real life. I know what it's like to be forbidden from one particular spot, all because of your dumb behavior. Like your little hobby. Your little hobby is kind of like a secret. You don't want the whole world to know. It's like a little white lie when you keep it. Because once your lie is exposed, you are to blame. You know what I'm saying? And to keep it real, I overdo the most. I fuss and fight. As the rappers would say, we fuss and cuss and kick up dust. Don't none of y'all Negros want to mess with us. No. The only person you're messing with is yourself. Your true self inside you. when you look in the mirror, let's just say that the true self inside of your body, the real you, is crying. Other times you're like folding their arms, like, why? Why would you do me like this? Look at yourself. And I don't know if I feel sorry for you. All I can say is shame on you, bro. Shame on you, sister. And the inner side you on the reflection of the mirror starts to walk away, back turn. Then you decided, or some of y'all decided to take the guilt, take the shame, and the whole extreme. Some of y'all want to smoke weed, a cigarette. Others like to imitate like they smoke weed, making fake hand gestures, knowing that they don't smoke, or feeling like they are in a movie. Others want to drink beer or lean. But let me tell you, lean is worse than alcohol. Don't get involved with codeine, the scissor. Unless you want to join DJ Screw, Pimp C, Big Mo, all individuals that passed away from drinking the so-called lean, which is a mixture of Sprite and promethazine, cough syrup. It's not good. Especially when you're depressed. People do dumb things when they're depressed. But some people do better things than getting high and drunk and walking around pacing, locked in their they're locked in their room, act like they're in a jail cell. They don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, they don't want to get out of bed. Dudes want to walk around shirtless, or just imitate Usher after he took his tank top off. First verse, he had a long sleeve shirt on. Second verse, he took off his long sleeve black shirt, throw it to the side, and he was in his tank top and jeans. And let's just say that he was laying down. There was one girl on the side of him giving the "I'm ready, baby," that type look, like I want you. But the other girl on the other side looked like, what the heck are you doing? Leading to a car, sitting in the back seat of a car, an old muscle car. I don't know if it was a Mustang, I don't know if it was a Charger, but the windows were wet outside because it was supposed to be rain, but there was no rain. It was just an empty room. Black room with a splash of brown based on the lighting. When he got out the car, a woman, long-haired woman, with a tan t-shirt, blue jeans, folding her arms as in, how could you? Like, I'm gonna give you 3 wishes. Like a genie, but she's mad. You know how women are when they're mad at men, arms folded. Even parents be like that. And sometimes you be like that. You want to fold your arms because you feeling guilty, like you felt betrayed, and you ain't got a dang thing to do except mean mug and look at the popular kids like you a hater. Man, screw that Negro. Screw that hood rat. No. Instead of saying screw them, it's mostly gonna backfire as in shame on you. I've been in the shame on you train for too long, and I never shut up about my faults. Feeling sorry for myself is one thing, but saying sorry to others, knowing that I messed up bad, is another. Back to Usher. After the woman was spotted, arms folded, Usher slides to the woman on his knees. Sliding on his knees, made it perfectly to the woman. He grabbed her by the legs, like, I'm sorry. And the woman arms. This is how she started off. But then, oh, what the heck? Oh, please, I'm sorry. Give me another chance. But unfortunately, she had to place his hands off her hips. He was like he about crying on her legs, but he wasn't crying. He was like pleading, begging. I'm down on my knees, begging you, please come home. So, of course, for those that didn't hear me clearly, I'm sorry. But this is what happens when you are speaking in a low voice. All y'all haters out there gonna be like, man, speak the heck up. But I can't. Especially when you're living with somebody and with somebody around you and or next door neighbors. You don't want to disturb the peace while they sleep. So don't judge me. And when I sung that down on my knees begging you please come home, that's a Boys to Men type lyric. Wanye was doing the most. But that was a song on bended knee. But after the lady, back to Usher, after the lady got his hands off me, like, get your hands off me. And then bam, slap in the face and walk away. It's like, dang it, I deserve that. Every day it's like a pimp slap that we all deserve. A blunt wake-up call. To the fact that I made a rap song about it, which you can find on Facebook, because sometimes when making the beat, look, I use instrumentals, but I can't just send it to any social media knowing that there's copyrights. If it's already used, don't waste your time releasing it. You're just doing it for the love of the fun and the feel of the music, but you can't do that all the time. You got to come up with your own sound. So, after Usher got slapped in the face, he had to get up off his knees and realize that he made the biggest mistake, and just live with it, live to regret it. Like Jaheim when he did Diamond in the Rough. In the end of the song, he said, you're like a star that shines in broad daylight. Something that you don't see all the time. And now I finally recognize that I should have made you my wife. Never let a day just pass me by. You bring that sparkle in my life. Something that you don't meet twice. I'm gonna live to regret it, baby. I mean, almost every song you hear, a sad song, there's gotta be the words, I'm sorry. If I give you one hint of a sad song where men admitted they messed up, like I already gave you an example. Boyz II Men on Bended Knee. Another good song would be What Kind of Man Would I Be If I Lived Unfaithfully? And what kind of girl would you be if you do the same? Mint Condition. I'm sorry, baby. Stokely said that in the end. Where I Want to Be by Donnell Jones. And I have the same last name. That song was shocking, and it became one of the biggest hits he made, based on living a double life, an unfaithful life to his girlfriend at the time. And he admitted in interviews, especially when he talked about the lyric when he said, "I'd rather leave than to cheat." He cheated, and he kept it real. I mean, people ought to keep it real, but others, like parents, mostly parents, would be the ones to tell you, TMI, just keep it on the hush. But sometimes parents have to be exposed too, but that's not good. Because in the end of the song, Where I Want to Be, Donnell Jones, like Stokely on Mint Conditions, What Kind of Man Would I Be, ends the song speaking, saying, "I'm sorry, baby." Mary J. Blige and KC did a song together from the Mary album. KC was saying, I'm sorry. And Mary ended up yelling at him, saying, "Yes, you're sorry." That's how it ends. But like Donnell Jones said, "I'm sorry, baby." But it's not enough. But speaking of KC, another good example of a sad song where it has a lot to do with asking for forgiveness. Jodeci's I'm Still Waiting. Michael, no. But then again, I have to say this. Michael McCary, the original bassman and the fourth member of the group Boyz II Men, he did a speaking part on Bended Knee when he said, "Baby, I'm sorry. Please forgive me for all the wrong I've done. Please come home, girl. I know I couldn't trust you. I know you couldn't trust me, and I'm sorry I let you down. Please forgive me." But Jodeci's I'm Still Waiting. Now will you forgive me for all the wrong I've done? It's like, same old song, same old routine. But Usher, back to him. He took off his tank top, standing on his 2 feet, threw the tank top aside like his long sleeve shirt, and he admitted that he had another female pregnant. It's like celebrities are not loyal. They're not faithful. They're not honest. People have been manipulated behind their backs. People have been manipulated behind closed doors. I manipulated a lot of my friends and family members and co-workers. And I turned away. Like Chucky Booker. Turned away from love and turned away from God. I remember what it was like to bring up that saying. Turned away from God, based on a Chucky Booker old school 89 song. Turned away. We Christians turned away too long, and we can't even say an apology in the right way. Ain't that something? Man. A lot of sick individuals, perverts, sex offenders, stalkers, cheaters, cheater, pumpkin eater, living a life full of one night stands and sitting around locations making people uncomfortable. Man, enough is enough. We can't come back. People start to fuss at us. They're concerned, like David Allen Greer's character, Antoine Merriweather. And welcome to Men on Films, the show that looks at movies from a male point of view, from In Living Color. The way he said, "You need to stop." It's like a whisper, as in, "Dude, you are messing up. Slow down." Brad Nubian, what I think you ought to do is slow down. Slow down. Make one false move, you will end up in the casket. You make one false move, you're going to end up locked up behind bars for the rest of your miserable, vulnerable, depressing life. Hard-headed life, controversial life. Make one false move, you're going to end up with a lump of coal. Even if it means to take 1 year off and not celebrate Christmas. For those that know how it feels to ruin somebody's Christmas and ruin somebody's life over what you did, it's not good. And when you try to apologize to somebody, it ain't gonna work. Men have been apologizing to women, and still, until this day, it doesn't work. Perfect example, Robin Thicke with Paula Patton. Paula divorced Robin. Robin made an album called Paula. Probably didn't go platinum and gold because people were like, "Man, Robin, let that chick go." He said, "It all never should have happened if it wasn't for you and them stupid blurred lines." Robin Thicke was not the only one to deal with depression. But how did he find his groove back? How did he? That's his business, not mine. Donell Jones admitted that he wasn't faithful when he made Where I Want to Be. Case on TV1's Unsung, his first girlfriend, she was concerned about him as if he had a thing for Mary J. Blige. By the end of the video, Usher, after he confessed, a lot of mirrors appeared out of nowhere. They break in front of him. Faded pictures in a broken glass. But these were his confessions. 20 years later, the confessions, it still hurts. Usher got involved. Robin Thicke got involved. Donell Jones got involved. But real life people, I got involved. It's not just me. The three men I mentioned before me, they're all real. They're famous. I'm not. I'm just a YouTuber, small timer. 37 subscribers. But not enough time to hightail it. Once again, I say don't judge me because I'm not sorry for all this madness I've done. So I had to break down the music video of Usher's "These Are My Confessions," which was one of the biggest albums that he has ever made in his career. More successful than My Way. My Way went multi-platinum, but Confessions went diamond. Yeah. But speaking of music stars, it's kind of like, and bringing up the multi-platinum and the gold. I'm after the gold and after that the platinum. It's like this. Sometimes a lot of people want to question the RIAA, why they have to be like that. They're not sorry. They're not sorry how many records are sold. Just like the record companies, they're not sorry based on your description how bad your record sells. In the world, there's nobody's sorry. Matter of fact, they are sorry. Not sorry, not sorry. Like Reese's. That's the slogan. Sorry, not sorry. And what's crazy funny is that the guy who played the Geico Hump Day, the camel. Guess what day it is? He narrates the Reese's commercials. Why? Like, for instance, he did take 5. Why? Because you can't handle 6. That's funny. Real funny. People do anything to make money. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. The late Meatloaf. I would do anything for clout. I ain't doing that. I ain't Offset. I can only be me. Like Genuine, the same OG. But sometimes when you make a song, you gotta feel like, I'm not sorry for what I said. I meant what I said, and I'm not taking it back. I don't live to regret for the longest time, and I let fear get the best of me. I'm too scared to say no, but I gotta let that go. Even if my mom and dad try to tell me, even my sisters and brothers try to tell me, even if my homies, if I had some, my home girls, if I had some, friends, just call them friends, and your co-workers, your church members, they had to spell it out for you. Even the preacher man, the cops, the firefighters, the nurses, the doctors, your managers, your neighbors, the landlord, landlady, everybody that you hardly talk to, one of them is going to get out the comfort zone and say, enough is enough. Now you've been depressed and you got to get out this hump. And let's say they decided to grab you, yank you up, and teach you how to be a man or a woman and learn how to forgive. Ask for forgiveness. But first, you got to have to forgive your dang self. Forgive yourself. Be yourself. Forgive yourself. Rebuild yourself. Regain yourself. And if people don't want to accept your apology, screw them. No. Not screw them. Not forget them. Don't say shame on them. Pray for them. Why does that got to do with apologies? Matthew 5:44. Read it to believe it. I'm talking about apologies and I'm going off the subject, but I don't give a dang about that. All I give a dang about is making a point. Just like my granddaddy preaching the message. As I conclude, that's how he ends it. And another catchphrase my granddaddy would say, keep in mind, Keep that in mind. But yeah, this ain't no joke. If you want to get somebody's attention, you got to do it the right way. I remember what it was like to apologize to one of the individuals, female individuals older than me, a married woman, based on the hardships and the negative things that I've done. Of course, referring to stalking. I remember what it was like to apologize to her, asking her, will you forgive me? But still, I'm up to no good. But when people are telling you to stop, they ain't playing. You keep doing it, you're gonna fool around and get expelled, get banned, forbidden. I felt like that was one of my downfalls. I don't want to listen. I do one thing when someone's telling me to do the other first before I do what I want. And I don't feel, and I can't even say I'm sorry. That's a darn shame. God expects us to do better. God expects us to have a forgiving heart. People don't want to forgive, but they just want to forget. People do forgive, but they won't forget. Forgive and forget. Kiss and make up. Break up to make up, that's all we do. First you love me, then you hate me, that's a game for fools, and I've been a fool. But it's not just me. What do the depressed people do? What's the best thing that depressed people can do? They go to bed early. They get a good night's rest and try to forget the pain. But there's the controversies that they cause. But that's still not enough. Until they come to God and ask for forgiveness. Pray for the ones that they've harmed. I gotta do that more often. I gotta learn when to hold my tongue. Stop acting like you got beef. Stop it. Stop trying to start an argument. Raise your voice. Just chill. And Mom, if you're watching this, I'm going to have to continue. I'm going to have to bring back the old, let's not fight. Like, look, I got to work on that. What's it got to do with being sorry? What's it got to do with apologies? You're going to get the hang of it. Like, sometimes the first person you need to apologize is the Lord. Then you have to apologize to yourself. Because right now, a lot of people, they say they're sorry, but they don't mean it. Not 100%. And not 100% people will forgive you. They up and gone. They're done. Let them go. They want to wish you hell as a negative things. They want to see you rot. I'd rather wish them my blessings than curses. I want to wish them heaven, not hell. Because we all been there. Hell on earth. Ain't nothing new. But what about peace? If you ain't apologizing, there's no peace to your life. It's kind of like you admit it. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. If being right means being without you, I'd rather live a wrong-doing life. It's like, do I even care to apologize to the people that I've harmed close to home? Everywhere I go, even the ones I hardly know, but I get so amped up that I want to fight them. You can't win respect if you don't know how to apologize. Even if you did, you're not 100% real. Stop trying to hold back. All men are not idiots. All women are not supreme. But the one stereotype has got to die. Because women too apologize. I mean, Tamika Scott admitted her apologies to Kandi. It was flat. But on Still Kicking It, a mini-series, which was just 4 episodes, based on Kandi getting back together with Tamika, Tiny, and Latasha before the Scott sisters had beef over Rocky and the $30,000 that was kept a secret. Tamika Scott has been hurting for a long time. She done dumb things. She got herself in trouble for being dishonest. But when she, after performing Is My Living in Vain with one of the OG Clark sisters, because Escape covered that song in 1993 from their platinum debut album, the first album ever released by So So Def, the first artist of So So Def Records history. And 31 years later, that album is still a hit. Just Kicking It. Understanding. Love on My Mind and Tonight. Road Warrior. Hit singles. But Just Kicking It and Understanding made more noise than Love on My Mind and Tonight did. Just Kicking It went double platinum. Understanding went platinum. Ain't nothing new. But what about Tamika? What about Tamika Scott? On Escape Still Kicking It, the last episode, after performing Is My Living in Vain, Tamika, she couldn't stop. She couldn't leave the stage yet at the Essence Festival. She was on that Holy Ghost. She was like getting turned up to the Lord, like in the mood to do gospel. It's kind of like the same energy like Fantasia Barrino. You know what I mean? But she wanted Kandi to come back to the stage. And she wanted to apologize the right way. And even when Kandi interviewed, she wanted to break down and cry because the first time she apologized, it was flat. Other times she apologized, still flat. Come on, Tamika, be real. It got to be real. That's what she did. She did the real thing. Got to be real, to be real. And when Tamika did an interview, she had tears already falling down her eyes. I made a mistake. And I hurt my sister. And it was tough. Even Latasha admitted that the apology that she did for the Big Tigger, when she was with when Escape without Latasha did with Big Tigger, the interview with Big Tigger, Latasha was like, you know what? Let me make this right. And they ended up singing Clean Heart. Candy, Tamika, Latasha, and Tiny sung Clean Heart. And after that, Tamika and Candy hugged it out. A tear-jerking moment. And Tamika had another tear-jerking moment when it came to trying to make peace with Latasha on the R&B Divas Escape and SWV. When she interviewed, Tamika was crying. Latasha started crying. Do you know how serious an apology is? Sometimes when you apologize, sometimes you have to break down and cry. You felt so ashamed, and there were times I feel like I want to apologize. And what comes after that? An understanding. The words, I forgive you. And even if I don't cry, but the people I hurt did, what's the first thing I could see? Open arms, arms open wide. My arms are open wide, and I don't have to cry no more. Sometimes I don't have to cry no more. Open arms. Your right ear touches my right ear. You hold me like a traffic light pole. Hold me tight, that you don't get sucked away by the tornado. In other words, a hug. Sometimes I feel like I need a hug as a way to tell you, I forgive you. That's the problem. I always wanted a hug from somebody I know. Knowing that hugs nowadays can be considered sexual harassment based on how you wanted it. But sometimes a hug can heal the wounds. But when you apologize to somebody, you gotta learn the true meaning of patching up all the holes that you've put in everybody else's hearts. But based on that song from Two Guns, the movie Two Guns, starring Mark Wahlberg, Denzel Washington, and Paula Patton, with the late Bill Paxton and Edward James Olmos. How did that song go? Oh yes. One, I get the feeling that it's 2 against 1. But it's not just for me, but for anyone. The mirror is the trigger and your mouth's a gun. I get the feeling I'm not the only one. Whoever made that song, that stood out. The chorus stood out really, really deep. Because every now and then, in an unapologetic world, or the sorry not sorry type world we're living in, I get the feeling that it's 2 against 1. Or, as Tupac Shakur once said, me against the world. Me against the world. Screw the world. Screw everything that's negative in it. Screw the drugs, screw the porn, screw the gangs, Bloods and Crips, Gangster Disciples. Screw the crookedness of police officers. Screw the people that lie in court and shed crocodile tears. Think about the people that you want to make right with. And if they don't want to accept your apology, let them go. Be an astronaut and give people space. Forgive yourself. Find yourself. especially with God being the first thing. Find God, apologize to Him. Have a little talk with Jesus. Tell Him all about your struggles. He will hear your faintest cry, and He will answer by and by. Say a little prayer with yearning. You know your heart is turning. Have a little talk with Jesus. Makes it right. All right. Can we have a little talk with Jesus and tell Him how hurt we are based on the decisions we made? I admit I've been sorry, not sorry, but that's not gonna help get my love and respect back. There's a whole lot more to do, especially when you apologize, because sometimes when you apologize to somebody, you gotta give them some time. You gotta heal. Let them heal on their own. You heal, or you heal on your own time. Even when you deal with depression. I've been dealing with depression, but sometimes my depression I've dealt with, it's been completely over nothing. I am always serious about things that I don't even know how to take a stupid joke. I can't even laugh. Never had a good time. Come on. If I was depressed, I would listen to the music and to heal me, soothe my mind. Like Take Six, Come Unto Me, my favorite Take Six song of all times. Motion picture soundtrack of my life, followed by A Quiet Place, or another one, He Never Sleeps. And mostly one song. If we ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need Him now. We need Him every day and every hour. We need Him in the morning, we need Him in the night, we need Him in the noonday when the sun is shining bright. We need Him when we're happy, we need Him when we're sad, and we need Him when we're burdened just to make our hearts feel glad. That's like a hint to why we need to apologize, work on our apologies. And shout out to Claude, Mark, Joey, Cedric, who else? Mervin, Christian, and Alvin. There was another one. Oh, David, yes. The past members and the current members of Take Six. Doing music over 40 years. And last year, their self-titled debut album, which featured the hit single Spread Love that went platinum, the album went platinum, it just turned 35, and now it's 36 years old. I'd rather learn how to apologize and apologize right than to apologize with a bare face and no care in the world. The smooth talking ain't gonna do you any good. If you want to learn how to apologize, learn a thing or two from Jaleel White when he played Steve Urkel. Because sometimes, as Steve Urkel, he had no other choice but to do what needs to be done, even when it's to save a soul, and to realize the mistakes that he made and try to tell Laura or anybody else that I may be annoying, but I got heart. You just don't want to accept me for who I am, as if you don't love me. It's like this. Long time ago, there was one song that made me break down and cry when I was in 4th grade and 5th grade. And that was Justin Guarini when he did Sorry. Sorry is not an easy word to say. It never was. It's kind of like the Beatles. Sorry. So sad, so sad. Why can't we start all over? Sorry seems to be the hardest word. Because we don't know how to use it correctly. We can fix that right then and there. That's all I'm asking. Learn how to apologize. If they don't want to accept it, let them go. You tried. But sometimes you need to try harder. But if they still don't want to believe it, hey, let them see for themselves where they went wrong. Sometimes the devil already got their minds all caught up. They got what they wanted, but that does not mean they get their comeuppance. They're gonna get their backlash later. You can laugh now, but you're gonna cry later. But as Christians would say, older Christians would say, "Thou shalt reap what you sow." But what about you, the one that's hurt and trying to apologize, trying to do the right thing? You too have to reap what you sow. Because if you don't apologize, you'll never get your act together. You'll never even see the very next day. You'll never be able to see heaven or live in heaven. All you gotta do is repent. It's part of the five rules, the top 5 rules. To be a Christian, you gotta hear, believe, repent, confess, and be baptized. And then after you're baptized, what's next? You live faithful until death, or the day when the Lord decides to call this earth over by coming back. I'd rather say sorry to all the people that I've hurt and right my wrongs and to move on and learn how to keep my mouth on the hush. Even if it means to stop stalking, to stop lusting over older women. But I'm not the only one. All those crimes that I've caused, it backfired on me. I got exposed. I got to learn things the hard way. So what the heck's a wake-up call? It's an alert for people who continue to fall into the rabbit hole. Not just that, but into an early grave. Why? Because we're not 100% Atlanta brave enough to accept the harsh criticism that we call the truth. So what's our excuse? I never thought of bringing this up in a land full of clout chasing, pride, and lust. So on and so on. This is more than the 7 deadly sins, but dang, I really can't win. We went from dancing to twerking, fist fights to gun clips. We hardly dance anymore. All we do is this. We don't dance no more. They don't dance no more. People don't dance no more. All we do is this. All we do is this. All we do is this. That's some sage advice for Goody Mob to tell. Parties are not the same. We're stuck in this game. So go ahead, ladies, and shake it like Jello. Twerk all you want. Meanwhile, I'm over there sitting on the corner like this, feeling sorry for myself, but waiting for my wake-up call to say, hello. And trust me, that's a real rhyme that I wrote. Wake-up calls, hello. In parentheses, hello, that is. So, learn how to apologize and learn how to accept life for the way it's been made. You made a mistake, you have to live with it. But then you have to let it go and never do it again. Looking back over my life, I've seen where I caused a little strife. And I truly know that I will never make the same mistake again. Looking back over my deeds, I've seen signs that a wise man heeds. And now I truly know that I will never make the same mistake again. Once my cup was overflowing, I gave nothing in return. Now that I'm growing older, oh, what a lesson I've learned. Just from looking back over my slate, I've seen signs where I caused a little hate. And now I truly know that I will never make the same mistake again. Jimmy Outler and the Soul Stirrers. With all that being said, thank you for watching my brand new episode of Cold Man's Winter, based on a topic, apologies. We all have to forgive each other. Is it too late now to say sorry? Some say yes, but others say no. I know that I'm let you down, but is it too late to say sorry now? Don't ask Justin. Don't ask me, Justin Bieber. The answer comes for you. You have to figure out your own answers, your own yes or no questions. Is it too late to say sorry now? One Republic would say, it's too late to apologize. But is it too late to apologize for real, though? Yes, no, maybe don't count. I know I gotta get my act together, but what about you? If you feel like you want to make a change and keep being motivated and learn a thing or two based on what I gotta say, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click the notification bell, and there'll be more in stores. And the last episode, the link to the last episode will be in the description bar down below. And this episode, I conclude this episode fair and simple with the annual Sweet Lady of the Week, where a female individual gets recognition. So, who should I give this recognition to? Well, for starters, I think it's fair to give this recognition to Charlotte Simpson Fisher. To Charlotte Simpson Fisher, a fellow sister in Christ from Trenton, Tennessee, Eastside Church of Christ. I would like to spend my time to give you recognition, because sometimes you gotta learn a thing or two about being special, being someone to rely on. And because of this episode, I had to focus on a lot of people. The people that comforted me to keep going. Even if I hardly see them or talk to them, it's a privilege to keep going based on the love from your church family. And with all that being said, this is yours truly, Taylor Jones, signing out. Be on the lookout for the next episode of Cold Man's Winter Season 5.